Well, welcome back to the shop. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. I bought a new house and I had to build this new shop, but we got the Jeep in here and I've been starting work on it again. Although winter's hit and it's a little bit too cold out here without insulation or a heater. So today I've got a project that I want to take inside and we'll work on it on the kitchen table there. While I have the fenders off and I'm working around the grill, I want to get the marker lights installed. So I pull them apart, and the first thing is I'm curious about these lenses and how to get them out and get this all cleaned up in the sandblaster. And then I need to get this little housing out for the bulb so I can put a new wire in there. So I went ahead and taped up the lens housing so that I wouldn't, not that I wouldn't scratch the paint, but that I wouldn't put dents in there from the channel locks. And I don't really know if this was the best idea to mess around with these. You can buy replacement marker lights for $25, but I can't see replacing World War II parts. So I pried out the lenses so that I could put it in the sandblaster and not destroy this. And now looking inside, this comes apart in two pieces, and there are little gaskets kind of holding them together. I don't suspect those gaskets do much. But now I need to get the bulb holder out of the housing so that I can solder in the new wire. And so I punch out the rivet that holds it in there, and then we'll be able to sandblast these housings. So I went ahead and loaded the housings into the sandblaster and cleaned them all up, and then went ahead and primed and painted them. I also had to repaint the inside, and they were supposed to be black. And now we have the wiring harness, and Ron Fitzpatrick does a great job of shipping these. Each component has its own separate wiring diagram in addition to the master wiring diagram. So we can see that we're working on these lights. And I need to strip off the little tip because we're going to unsolder the bulb button, and then we're going to solder this wire to that bulb button since it doesn't come with it, but it actually has to be all soldered together. You have to load the bolt and the button and the spring and everything in. So I'm going to unsolder the original button. And now I can just pull that wire out of there. It's now free from that housing, and I can remove this little clip. This clip prevents you from being able to pull the wire up against the bulb. So we'll get that out of the way. And then slide the hollow bolt off, and now we're ready to clean up everything. I cleaned up that hollow bolt and the bulb holder because I wanted as clean of a ground surface as possible, since this bulb just grounds back through the metal of the Jeep. So all these grounds need to get cleaned up real well, and I'm not really sure exactly where the bulb's ground path is going to go, but anything that's going to touch metal on metal, I just went ahead and scratched it up so it would be clean metal. And inside the housing and all around where it's going to contact the grill, because that ground is eventually going to pass through there. So now I slide the bolts back on the harness and through the bulb holder, and remember to do that. It took me a couple of tries to remember to get all the things in the right order. And then I just went ahead and warmed up that bulb button again and melted that solder, and it just flowed right into that copper wire real nice. And there we go, we're all set. And now we can just go ahead and we'll get this all mashed into the housing, and Get the wire fed back through there and we'll be ready to rivet it back together. Here I crimped that little clip back on so that the wire can't get pulled back up against that housing there. And now it's all in there and we're ready to pop a rivet back in there. And these aren't going to be the original style rivets that it's supposed to use, but at this point it's not that big of a deal. At least it's together and we'll be ready to get the marker lights in the grill and continue on with the wiring. So I just repeated everything on the second one, and now I have 2 restored marker bulb housings. Now I'm trying to put the cover back together, and I really didn't do much with the lenses other than just clean off any overspray from when it was painted red before. And so those were all cleaned up, and one of the little gaskets had broke. I don't think those gaskets do much anyways. So I had to be very careful because they're extremely brittle, and I just didn't really see an easy way to remake them, and you can't see them once they're installed anyways. So I just kind of put them back together and popped them in there, and they're going to actually work just fine. I did catch myself making sure that I was putting the marker light in the correct orientation with the triangles kind of facing down. And then I wrapped up some duct tape on the jaws of the channel locks and just squeezed those back closed to retain that in there. And that looks really sharp. I'm just so impressed. It's always exciting to finish these small little projects as you go along. I picked up some bulbs from the hardware store and clip them in. They're a perfect fit. The solder job holds together. The little spring works. Feels like I got a good ground contact. And then we're gonna put the lenses on and we'll take them out to the shop here and connect them up to some power. And I just quickly touch them on the lawnmower battery there, and boof, it all works. So our ground must be good. You can just fish this wire through here on the little asphalt loom. It's going to go right down there, in front of there. I've got my spacer on here that I've painted, and that can all drop through there. Now we just need to find the nut in the washer and we can tighten that up. Okay, well I didn't realize that I needed to remove that asphalt loom, and now this can tighten up in there. Okay, so now that's installed, and I just need to feed this asphalt loom back over the wire, and then we'll get all the clips put in the bottom. I'll get the other one mounted. So now we have these clips that just need to get pinned in underneath the grill here. So here's the view of that looking from the bottom of the Jeep. I'm just gonna try to screw to tighten up in there. Yeah, I gotta find a wrench. Oh. Well, some of you may have noticed this far that these marker lights are missing something, and I didn't realize it because they just weren't there. And the Ron Fitzpatrick Jeep catalog doesn't show them, but I was searching for circuit breakers for the rest of the wiring harness on Kaiser Willys and ended up finding these little gaskets that go on the doors of the marker lights. So we're going to see how they fit. They're definitely in the parts catalog for the Jeep, but I guess I'm not sure if they go to every model or not. Yeah, you know, I don't see how these would fit. I mean, they fit in there. But now, will it? So it looks like you kind of have to push that gasket under there, clip it in on the top, and then it can get screwed in on the bottom. Well, it definitely fit in there. Okay, now we do the other one. All right, well that's about gonna do it for this project. We got the marker lights installed, the wirings ran, and now it's just a matter of starting to wire up the headlight switch and putting in the body harness. All those parts are sitting here ready to be installed. It's just a little chilly out here. So as always, thanks for hanging out in the shop with me today. If you like this video, give me a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And that way you can follow the rest of the updates with the Willis. And when we start getting it running, we'll make sure to have plenty of content available for that. Not to mention all the other projects we do around the shop on this channel. So anyway, all of you that have subscribed, thanks for subscribing. It's a lot of fun chatting with you guys down in the comments section. And we'll see you in the next one.